Can I make a suggestion for today's video? I'm all ears, go ahead. Can we talk about how Kadri was the Marlies' only minus player in this game, and he's fat and a failure? Strongly considering taking away your internet privileges. Marlie Minute, talk about Leaf stuff without mentioning Roberto Luongo, Marlie Minute. The Toronto Marlies lose 4-3 in the shootout to the Detroit Red Wings AHL team, the Grand Rapids Griffins. And it sucks because the Marlies had a 2-goal lead, twice. Not all bad news. Leo Komarov opens up the scoring, makes it 1-0 with his first of the season, and I want to talk about him. Because again, very small sample size, but just 5 games into the season, it's great when a player comes almost exactly as advertised, and the reputation for Komarov is he's a giant pesty McPestface. Watching clips of him playing in the KHL last season, especially in the playoffs, all that kept running through my head was Sean Avery. You know, minus the saying stupid stuff that gets you ostracized from your profession. And what helped him get a contract with the Leafs was stepping up his game from just being a pest. He had a great assist last game, and he scores a goal here. Making it 2-0, Mike Koska. He was signed away from the Norfolk Admirals. You might remember them as the team that beat the Marlies in the Calder Cup final. He scored the controversial Game 3 winner. I don't want to talk about it, but anyway, he is now the Marlies' leading scorer. 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points in 5 games. Then a little bit of back and forth between the teams. Nyquist scores for the Griffins, Holzer scores for the Marlies, Tatar scores for the Griffins, and then Nyquist, with his second of the season, second of the game, ties it, and they go to overtime, solves nothing, go to the shootout. And while UC Runas didn't look nearly as good in this game as he did in the last one, where he got a shutout, the Marlies were kind of outshot 12-3 in the third, which doesn't help. Not to mention outshot 4-2 in overtime. In the shootout, however, and I'm going to reiterate something Jeffler said on his blog post on theleafsnation.com, I 100% agree with it, you can read it in the underbar here. The way the Marlies lost this game probably won't happen again for a long time. The Marlies' first 3 shooters, Ryan Hamilton, Nazem Kadri, and Keith O'Coin, all failed to score. Nuts. All 3 Grand Rapids Griffins shooters scored. Thomas Yurcho, Gustav Nyquist, and Brendan Smith. Not in that order. When I saw the Wings drafted Thomas Yurcho in the second round, I'm like, of course they did, of course! The Leafs drafted Tyler Biggs and Stuart Percy ahead of him, who I'm excited to see play and develop and see how they do. But man, I really wanted them to get Yurcho. And if you're not that familiar with the rule differences between the AHL and the NHL, you might be asking yourself, wait a sec, how did the Griffins score 3 goals? AHL shootouts are best of 5, NHL are best of 3. But to kind of go back to what Jeffler said, the Marlie shooters are too talented to not score in the shootout consistently, and also their goaltending's too good to let in 3 straight shootout goals. So like Jeffler said, yeah, you got to give the Griffins the credit, but that is as close to a fluke as you're going to get. So yeah, the Marlies pick up a point, but with 2 2-goal leads, they could have had 2. The Marlies' next game is this Friday, October 26th, on the road against, no way, the Hamilton Bulldogs. It's awesome, they never play them. In fact, like every year, this is a key part of the season for the Marlies because they're going on a brutal road trip because there's the horse show or whatever it is at Ricoh Coliseum. The road trip is as follows. They start in Hamilton with the game I mentioned. Back-to-back games against the Abbotsford Heat in Abbotsford, BC. I said that like it's insane. It's a long road trip for the AHL. Houston Aeros, Texas Stars, San Antonio Rampage, Oklahoma City Barons, so they get to take on Jordan Eberle and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Funsies! And then, because I guess the AHL has a sense of humor, they end the road trip in Hamilton as well. But it's okay, you can watch them return for their first home game on November 17th against Hamilton. If you watch the Marlies, we complain about that every year, but it's a different league, different set of circumstances. You just gotta kind of live with it. So yeah, I don't like that they play Hamilton so much, but I understand. And if you watch the AHL and find something that completely doesn't make any sense to you, I urge you to think about it and maybe do a little research first. Because with all the KHL highlights I've been doing, a lot of people have been, this game sucks and I hate it and I don't understand this and that. I was like that for a little bit. I was like, wow, the defense stinks and the goalies suck. And there are a bunch of sweethearts that don't like to check. And then you actually watch it, you realize that's not the case. There's a much bigger ice surface, so it doesn't benefit you to throw a hit, put you out of position, the guy's behind you, and the puck's in your net. You see elite NHL goalies like Pecorine over there getting lit up because the angles are different, they're making dumb mistakes behind the net. The bigger ice, man. And people take a look at the numbers people are scoring in the KHL and going, I don't understand why it's so low or high or whatever. It's the same thing with the AHL, so just consider what you're watching, consider that it's a different game, and just enjoy it because it's the only hockey we got right now. I mean, those two and the OHL, WHL, QMJHL, NCAA, USHL, all the Junior A League, Swedish League, Finnish League, German League, Swiss League, and a bunch of others. But I just want hockey back! Shut up! Adapt! Survive! You're human! It's what we do! Well, that kind of evolved into a rant. I'm sorry. That's the end of this episode. Thank you for watching Marlie 19 minutes.